All right, and we are live. Well, hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad you guys are
Hi,
here.
guys. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Let's see. It's Jen Swift of Willcraft Studio, and this is my bestie, crafty bestie, Amy Romeo of Amy Romeo Crafts. Is it Amy
Hi
Romeo
there,
Crafts
everyone.
or?
Yeah, I think I changed it. I went through a few, iterations there for a while. But
So,
yes, let me just turn off my volume here. I'm good. Okay.
okay. So let's see. I think that we're good. Like we were having a few check challenges this morning. Um, both Amy and I actually, so we weren't quite sure whose challenges were whose. So it's one of those
Yeah, that's a little
problems.
bit of a, right. That's a little bit of a struggle when you're not quite sure. Anyway,
Yeah. So
we're
it's kind
we're
of
working
funny.
it out.
Yeah. So it looks like a few people are here already. Penny's here. Oh,
Yay.
did I see something about fires?
So Corey said no sound. Can everyone hear us?
How about now?
Let's see. Hi, Penny. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Jill. Hi, Lori.
I
Hi,
think.
Tammy. Hi, Chris. Hi, Diana. Hi, Kathy. Chris Jeffers
Okay,
is my new favorite person. She saved me last week from a crisis.
she did. Okay, so you
Yes.
guys, do you want to tell us about the crisis? Because now I'm curious.
Yes. So I um, got the setup of my keychain event. You know, how I'm in the middle of my summer keychain event. I got all the pages set up, so people could buy it. And
Mm-hmm.
I made 100% off coupon code and I sent it to one of my testers and she tested it and it worked good and she was able to download everything. And then I sent an email to like the people on the wait list, about 600 people that were interested in the event. And I gave them, actually, wait, I sent it to my earrings club and I gave them a $5 off coupon because I
Mm-hmm.
always give them little perks. Well, I gave them the wrong coupon code. I gave them the 100% off free coupon code. So anyway, Chris caught it after about five people checked out with it completely free. So
Well,
yay, a couple people got a free training.
so
But
so
anyway, Chris saw it and brought it to my attention, which was
so
awesome.
so she was your superhero. Um,
She was.
so Amy, this actually, when you told me about that, that made me. I honestly, so
Hmm.
okay, so as girls, we're supposed to feel like just always like feeling great for the other person and just really like
Yeah.
just the best. Okay, so I have to admit, I felt a little bit like haha when you told me you did that because Amy, Amy, who gets everything in my
No,
mind right, like all the
no,
time,
I don't.
did made a
I
mistake,
don't.
like completely screwed something
No.
up. And in my there was this little moment of like haha before there was this moment of, oh, you poor girl, I'm so sorry,
Yep.
oh, and then I
Yep.
felt for you, like, and then the best friend thing kicked in. But there was like this flash of moment of like, it's not just me. So
No, no, it's definitely not just you.
yeah.
It's me too. And it's funny because people don't realize how much goes into the back end of like an event or even a summit, like what we had to do, all the dots that we had to connect. And some of it's kind of techie and we have to learn about it. And some of it is just it's like a simple thing that you forget to do. You forget to toggle something on. You forget to publish a page that connects to three other things. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really easy. And if you're tired and you're working late and stuff, like I was last week on my
Mm-hmm.
event, then, it's easy to make a mistake. But that's why there's like a little pro tip. That's why we often invite people to join a wait list or we'll pick a small grouping of our audience to send this stuff to early and you get early access, which is cool, and we
Mm-hmm.
get to test. So
Yeah.
instead of sending that 100% free coupon code to my entire audience, I just messed up on a little piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one of the reasons why we test.
It is.
And
And
yeah,
no,
yep.
and
And I
there are.
catch something every single time. Every
Oh, I
time I
know.
do anything, like a launch or even in our summit, we had things where we were like, oh, make a note next time not to do that because we got ourselves on a pickle.
Yeah, there are like so many like ice or t's to ice to dot and t's to slat. It's just like, and things are like connected in these weird ways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't. Sometimes things are connected and you don't even know they're connected, And so then
Mm-hmm.
you like, push a button that says go, and it like connects to this, this, and this, and then not this. And you're like, oh, okay, well,
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I am.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of back end stuff.
I have to say that tech is like the biggest, like the hardest piece for me. I really don't
Mm-hmm.
understand tech super well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's actually a big hurdle for I think a lot of people that are trying to get started doing something new. It's just that tech piece of it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think?
No, absolutely. I agree. I mean, one of the hardest things I did was create my blog, which is it's based on like a WordPress site like yours is. And
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that that's how a blog is built. It's you have to know some technical stuff specific
Yep.
to building a WordPress blog to be able to do it right. And it's also constantly evolving. Like it's a platform where you can create any kind of website you want. It could be e-commerce, it could be a craft blog, it could be recipes. It could literally be anything. If you're a photographer, you can sell your artwork there. It's so
Yep.
customizable, which is great, but it's also a little overwhelming in the beginning. And that's another big hurdle for
A little overwhelming.
a little overwhelming. But even now, 4 years after I started my blog, and it's still very simple, I like to change things up and it takes some research and some time.
Hmm.
So, yeah, a lot of people say, oh, oh, it must be easy to start a blog. And it is, but it's also a lot of little things. Like you have to wear a lot of hats. Do you agree? Like you have to wear the social media hat and the website designer hat and the, SVG designer hat, all the hats.
I do. And we kind of touched on it last week, but I think that a lot of times those hats can kind of take different parts of your brain. And so,
Hmm.
and some things are like hard, like they just fatigue you. Like you've been doing like
Yeah.
the tech hat for 10 minutes and it completely wipes you out. Whereas you can put on
Right.
the, creative hat and, hours go by. And I mean, it still kind of wears you
Yeah.
out a little bit, but it's at the same time, it kind of renews you too. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm having trouble. I don't know if you, so like switching me back and forth between those like right now has been hard for me.
Hmm.
So trying
Hmm.
to go ahead and like problem solve and kind of figure out why things are connected, but then going ahead and doing the opposite and trying to just like open myself up and let the ideas flow. Um,
Yeah.
and other, there's been some definite like it's like if you turn on a faucet and then quick turn it off and it just like starts getting hinky on you. It's like
Yes.
I'm a hinky
Yes.
faucet right
No, I
now.
get it. And it's actually interesting because I feel like even though, I mean, I know you started your blog before I did,
Hmm.
but I
Not by
would say
much,
even in the
couple
last,
months.
not by much, but even
Yeah,
in the last, but I think, but you had a blog before also, so you had a
I
little
did.
more blog experience, I guess, is where I'm going
Yes.
with that. But it's interesting now because when we started, having a blog was kind of a traditional way of sharing your crafts and selling your SVGs or, sharing your work, things like that. And
Hmm.
I would say over the last couple years, there's so many more opportunities for people. Like we know some very large crafters that just basically are making their business, their entire business is based on Instagram or it's based on TikTok. Their the barrier to entry, I think, has gotten a lot lower for crafters who want to share their crafts and then even sell their products or their designs. Do you agree?
I do. Corey says she's always been hinky faucet. I do actually. I feel like although if you find the right niche for like there, like you said, there are people that are selling on Instagram that are just like
Hmm.
their entire businesses are Instagram stories,
Hmm.
Instagram like videos and stuff, and
Yeah.
Instagram live, and that is so foreign to me because that you can just take one aspect of it. Because when we started, we were told we had to do all the things.
Right.
Um,
And that it starts with a blog or a website, that's the
yep.
home base, and then these other things come off of it. But
Yeah,
that's
and so
not
to not have that home
right.
base now is, but one thing that people do still say is, and this was new when we started, was people were starting to talk about how you needed to have an email list and how huge email lists
Hmm.
were. And that was
Hmm.
something that I just was starting to hear and kind of like, okay, yeah, I can see that. And I'm, I feel like that is like one of the best ways to completely reach out to people. So to have that
Oh
part of
yeah.
it has been really important because I can actually like
Yes.
talk to you guys and email you and say hi. And um,
Yeah, I mean, I think email is still the most powerful way of reaching people. So it's interesting to me to see people that are other, people in our industry that are reaching people through Instagram and TikTok and those kind of things. It just doesn't
yeah,
seem as direct, but obviously it's
right.
effective for them. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. And talking about tech challenges, you've been listening to me complain for 2 days about something I have going on with my camera upstairs, my overhead camera.
Yeah.
And, it's not a cheap camera, and I can't figure out how to get it to fix this one little thing. But nowadays, people are creating crafting content with their phones. They don't even need a camera,
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of, again, getting started, I think the barrier to entry is a lot lower, even with tech that 5 years ago we were told we needed to have,
Okay.
a really good camera and, this kind of a computer and whatever.
So one thing that's interesting is that regardless, so if you're if you're a crafter who wants to make your craft into a business, so you can go either the digital route where you're selling the digital designs and you're teaching, kind of, right?
Hmm.
Or you're just selling digital
Right.
designs, or you can do the part where you're going. I've got my hands up, where you're going to craft fair. You're making physical products. You're doing
Hmm.
craft fairs. You're trying to sell online.
Hmm.
Either way, you really need to have that social media component, don't you?
Definitely. Definitely. Nowadays, I used to sell on Etsy when it was the Wild Wild West. In like 2010, 2011, I was selling digital invitations, like party invitations,
Really?
where I would, yes. So I would design it. And of course, I was doing characters at the time because I was stupid. And so my son Chase was turning 5, to let you know how long ago that was. He's the one that just graduated from high school last week.
Yeah.
He was turning 5 and he wanted a Lego Batman party, and there were
Uh-huh.
no Lego Batman party favors. So I ended up designing, a little like invitation, and I printed it out, and then I made some stickers and some party favors. And then I realized, oh, I could sell these. So I sold a bunch of Lego Batman, and the people would buy the design from me, and then I would customize it with their text, and then I would send them a proof, and they would approve it, and then they would download the little printable. And
Yeah.
at that time, you could print things with characters. You could send it to Staples, or you could send it to Walgreens or whatever and
Mm-hmm.
print it. Now, they don't let you do that unless you have a print license for the most part, or they could print them at home.
Yeah.
But when I was selling on Etsy then, there just wasn't a ton of competition. So
Yeah.
nowadays, you can have an Etsy. Oh, and I got kicked off of that account, got shut down on Etsy, I would say 6
Because,
months after
yeah,
I started, because I was stupid and I had a bunch of characters,
but you
which I
didn't
don't
know.
do anymore.
Yep.
I didn't know. And I've
Right.
had other Etsy shops since then, but never with characters and not with printable
Right.
invitations.
Because you were
But
young and you were dumb and you learned better.
right, and I was just trying different things.
Yeah.
But I was able to, just on like Etsy search, I was able to have people find my stuff and buy my invitations, and I was doing pretty well. Nowadays on Etsy, there's so much competition that you really need to have your keywords optimized, your search engine words optimized, and you need to be on social media driving traffic back to your Etsy shop. And
Yeah.
that's changed a lot, I would say, in the last 10 or 12 years. It used to
But,
be so much easier.
yeah. So there are a lot of
What do
challenges
you
that,
think?
well, I was just going to ask you, so is it worth it? Is it worth having a job that is based on something like creative and that you like, even though that we know that it's not like a purely creative job because there's all these tech things and stuff that you have to figure out. I think there's always these like,
Yeah.
it's like any job, right? But is it worth it to you?
Hmm.
Like,
Oh,
do
for
you,
me, 100%.
yeah?
100%. Because what's that saying? Like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Uh-huh.
That's how I feel now. I love what
Is
I
it?
do. If I'm not working, it's sort of downtime for me. I'm thinking about my business, and I'm thinking about things that I can make and share and connect with people. So that's how I feel about it. What about you?
I think I'd be doing this even if I wasn't doing this, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So it's like we all have like limited time, and oh, Roseanne, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. There's a bunch of people that are
Oh,
popping in a little late, which is really nice. Guys,
I'm
welcome.
gonna take
Thanks
a
for
look.
hanging out with us. I think that I mean, I've always liked to share things, and I've always searched. Like for me, they say you can't help being a teacher if you're like just super passionate about what you do. So anyone who's like super passionate about what they do has this like need to share it, right? So that's like the
Right.
best teacher are the people that are just like, oh my gosh, I just figured this out. This is so cool. Let me show you, right? Because
Right.
you're
Right.
so passionate about it that you can't help, telling others. So
Mm-hmm.
so I have that where I just get so dang excited about any stupid little thing, and there's only like a small slice of America or the world that's actually interested in what I'm interested in. And so being able to
Right.
find, people like everyone here today that's actually interested in like the same stuff and actually will get excited and not just roll their eyes. Okay, I have, it's me, my husband, and my son. I start talking about anything that I would talk about to you, Amy, or to anybody here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like instantly the eyes start rolling, the jokes start coming. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're just not interested, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about half the
Right.
stuff they're talking about, but you care. And that's why I love, like, even though there was a ton of stuff going on this week, like, I knew that if I had this hour, or, even just if we don't even go like the full hour, but just with you and with everybody here in the chat to like actually
Yeah.
sit, and it totally is like this, it's just this, it makes me happy to be here and to
Yeah.
be able to like
It's
experience
energizing.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like we like connection between craft bloggers and whatever we call ourselves, just like we like that connection, we like having that connection with the crafting community,
Yeah.
because that's also energizing. I'm, as you know, I'm in the middle of my keychain event, which is really fun. And I just see so many people enjoying it. And every morning I go into Facebook, and then I see all of my people posting their keychains that they made in my Facebook group. And it just
Right.
makes my heart so happy, because I designed them, for people to make them. So I get
Yeah.
really happy when people make them. And
Right.
that connection keeps me going. That motivation, like it's very, you get tired.
Corey,
You get tired.
it's
And things get
validation
hard.
too.
Yes, it is. No, it is. It definitely is. And it's funny because I'm doing a giveaway, and one of the entries for the giveaway is to go on my blog and leave a comment about the tutorial. And it's funny because so many people are just saying how much they love the project, and some of them are saying how much they appreciate things that I make and share with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not fishing for compliments, but it's really nice to feel the energy from people that like what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and things that
Yeah.
you make as a creator.
Yep.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I would definitely, it's totally worth it, even though it gets hard sometimes.
So I guess with that, we've been talking. So, it's Roseanne's birthday. Happy birthday, Roseanne! And then
yes, happy
people are
birthday.
talking about how much they absolutely adore your keychain event and love it so much.
Oh, yay. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, Lori's. So in my in a lot of my tutorials, all the keychain tutorials, I put the keychain when I glue it under a heavy book, and it's always my Alexander Hamilton book.
Oh.
And I've had a couple people comment. So Lori was saying her Alexander Hamilton book arrived. That's so funny.
Oh, that is hilarious.
And,
see, you
Joe
guys
was
just make us
asking
feel
where my
so
glasses
good.
are. I know you do. I'm going to take these off because I don't think it's working. Well, maybe it is. Joe was asking where my glasses are, and I actually wear contacts. But that time I wore glasses, I had just gotten them. So the eye doctor said to wear them for a few days because they were progressive, so I get used to them. So I did that.
I do like your glasses.
Thank you. But normally I just wear contacts. And that's because here it's so bright outside that I really need to wear sunglasses. And even though my new glasses have the transition lenses, they're not dark enough to keep the sun out of my eyes. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually just got I did the splurge and got because I only wear the glasses, but I got custom sunglasses with the prescriptions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like cool. I'm also getting my hair done today. I'm kind of excited about that.
Oh, that's right. It's Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Yes.
are you doing any cool color? What are you
I
doing
don't
with it?
know. It's a new gal. Usually I have my sister-in-law. She does my hair. But she lives
Hmm.
in Montana, so it gets a little hard. And anyways, so I'm gonna actually like just get it. I don't know. It's like really get it streaked and stuff. And I like chunky
Ooh.
and I still have the blue, and I like the blue. The pink and
I like the blue too.
the lavender like kind of fade out really quick, but the blue stays for some
Mm,
reason. So I don't
yeah.
know. I like the blue.
When,
Blue's kind of my
whenever I
color.
think of you, whenever I think of you, I think about the blue.
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
have to see. Um, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm excited about that because, yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm
Um,
just gonna take a look at the comments real quick, Jen.
yes.
I know you
One
were
thing
looking at them.
I was okay. So one thing I was going to mention though is so over the last couple of weeks, Amy and I have found ourselves talking about like business as a craft because it's something that we both talk about all the time. So we default into it a lot,
Right.
and we do. Um, but then also, I feel like a lot of people here, even if you're not necessarily thinking about like selling your what you make, as crafters, we make enough stuff and we have like enough desire to make things and try things that at some
Hmm.
point we have more things that we've made than we can do with, what we can do with, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
then you
Very
kind of
true.
say, oh, well, I could sell them. But that's like this whole new like beast of a thing.
Hmm.
But it can be super rewarding too. Or that's what we talk about. Or you could take your craft business into the other direction where you're doing designs and you're selling designs.
Hmm.
Um, and then you're not actually doing the physical piece of it, but you're still
Right.
getting to be able to develop things. You're still being able to justify like buying new things in order to try things.
Right.
so, so that's something that we kind of talked about a bunch. And so that is actually works out really well because this next week, the 14th, I'm actually going to be doing a workshop for the for the Cricut SVG Designer Summit. And it's how to take your Procreate designs and turn them into SVGs. And so that's actually a
Ooh.
workshop that I'm doing. I think I've already told you.
I I
You
know,
knew
but
that.
I know, but I'm super excited, and I didn't realize it was next week already. That is awesome. The
I'm
14th. So I think that's next Wednesday,
yeah,
maybe?
we're actually going to be out of town. We're going to be in Washington State for my son's
Oh.
orientation. So that'll be
Oh, that's
but that's
right.
but that's one of the benefits of being able to have. So the workshop is pre-recorded.
Hmm.
And that's one of the benefits of having an online business is that you can like I will still
Right.
be online, but from Washington for a couple hours in the morning, and then I'll take off and do other
Hmm.
stuff. But I'm just gonna show you
I love
guys.
that.
So these are some of the things I show you how to do in Procreate, and then
Amazing.
quick draw it. See, and then
Love
you
it.
can yeah. I mean, you quick draw it in Procreate, but then
Hmm.
so I quick like show you guys how to do it like fast. But then I also decided like after the fact that okay, so again, not everybody wants to sit there and just scribble, and so like I show them how to do it. But then I thought, okay, I'll wait. I'm gonna make some stamps. So I did
Hmm.
make a complete stamp set so that people don't actually have to like draw. Even if they don't want to, they can just use the stamps in Procreate.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I love cheats. Like cheats are my thing. Like any like way of like kind of getting around like having to do things the real way. No, just kidding.
I
It's
love that.
okay. So I do have Procreate brush set that is free with the workshop. So you guys, but you have to
Hmm.
sign up to get the free ticket in order to get the
And how do you sign up to get the free ticket? Because that
you
one
can
sounds really cool.
you can go to my blog. If you go to the front page, I have a button
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
wellcraftedstudio.com, and it actually will
Hmm.
take you to my info page, and you can sign up there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
all right.
I
So
love that.
anyhow,
I'm
yeah,
excited about that one.
I am too. But um, then just kind of a preview for you guys, but
Hmm.
not really. So that's one aspect of it is like designing, and so I actually that's what this is a perfect summit for. But
Hmm.
then I'm actually in another event that starts on June 25th, I think, and
Okay.
this is my first time announcing it. Okay, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, I'm
Um,
ready. Hit
I
me.
know.
I'm ready.
Okay, so it's the Craft Business Summit. And I'm actually going to start, I'm going to be able to tell people about it more on Friday, I believe, is the day that I can kind of email you guys about it. But for that, I'm actually going to be doing a course on, I feel like drum roll here. I'm going to be showing you how to create a logo in Procreate and then pull it into Canva and then take and create a brand kit in Canva. So I don't know if you guys have used Canva before, but Canva is actually like it's a free program that you guys can then take whatever designs you've done and take it into there and create the social media graphics. Amy, do you use Canva?
I do. I use Canva a lot. I use Photoshop a lot. That's my primary design thing, but I find myself using Canva more and more. Like now I'll just make my pin images in Canva. I make my printable directions for my earrings club in Canva. It's so easy. I do so much stuff in there. I love it.
So when we were doing the Cricut crafting adventure, I was using Canva all the time, and I created a little brand kit and felt so cool about it. So
yes,
that
was very cool. What's a brand kit? Tell them what a brand kit is.
Well, so I was just gonna. It's kind of cool because I just made it up. So brand kit is basically when you take the colors, you choose certain fonts, and you make specific decisions that are going to brand your event or your project. Or like I even branded Jasper's graduation party because I was doing invitations, I was doing photos, I was doing centerpieces and things, and so it was just easy to make those choices ahead of time and then be able to consistently use them all throughout. So
yes,
the event, and it gives a cohesive look to whatever you're designing, which instantly makes it look more professional. So it's almost like creating your own little cheat sheet, which again, we know I love cheat sheets. So
yes,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that's great because especially when we're talking about tech and you're going into these different programs that you have to connect all the dots, you want them to still look like your branding and like your business. So if you create a brand kit, like you're saying, you can find the color code for your particular colors because you can't just click on a pink. There's a million pinks. But if you create a brand kit, then you can easily grab the color code for your pink and put it in this extra, this outside program to create whatever you're working on. So a brand kit's awesome. I didn't have one until you showed me about that, and then I made one because I was always, let me go open up, my logo in Photoshop. Let me click on the pink color and hover over it and see what the color code was so I can go back over here and stick it in. So that's super convenient. I love it.
It's like obviously the sun came out. It's all about convenience and about kind of some of those decisions, if you make the decisions ahead of time, then you don't have to, like you say, you don't have to keep kind of going back. You're like, oh, well, what color was that? Let me find that blue. So it's, Kathy said she just started doing Canva last week, and Kathy C
awesome.
is saying she needs to Canva play dates. Well, maybe we do, because I'm finding that there is no one program or one piece of tech that's great for everything. So Canva goes really, really well with Procreate, which also goes really, really well with Illustrator, or goes well with, so having a vector program, raster program, and then Canva really is just, one thing that I really like about Canva, so Canva has a resize thing. So you can go in and do a design, and then you click the resize, and you can click resize for YouTube thumbnail, resize for Pinterest pin, resize for Instagram reel, and it instantly resizes to the exact size that you need for that social media thing.
Right.
So it's quick and dirty like that.
And, talking about selling your own products, because some of our crafty friends might not be doing graphic design for selling, but they might be selling their items on Etsy or selling their items on Facebook Marketplace. You still need to have a good photo of your product. So Canva has some nice basic photo editing tools where you can brighten it and you can crop it, and now you have your product photo. You can have one that's square. You can have one that's Facebook size. You can have, different sizes. So for product sellers, it's also really handy. And then if you wanted to, like if you had a Facebook page for your business, your handmade whatever business, you can create little sale graphics really easily. Like, it's the 4th of July sale. And they sort of have templates, and you can just sort of change the words
Yep.
and change the colors to your branding, like you're saying. It's really easy for business owners like us, but also for everyday handmade sellers, I think.
Yep. One thing that I wanted to test out with Canva is their print on demand. So they actually have, like, one of the cool things about Canva is that you're able to actually go ahead and if you want to, you can say print this and make something with
Oh,
it.
right.
So that's how I did Jasper's graduation cards. Okay, I'll show you guys. So I put them in a little frame. But Jasper's graduation cards, I designed in Canva.
Oh, it's so cute.
And then I actually had them printed like through Canva. And basically what happened is they sent it to Staples, I think, and had them printed at Staples and then sent to me. Because then later on, I know, right? Because it was like within days. One of the things I loved about it is that there's no branding. So like of all the cards, he got like tons of really cool grad cards this year, but they all had Shutterfly or something on the back, where it's branded by the design and the company. So it's kind of like a little thing for me to have, like, send ones that were unbranded. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, honestly. But I cared. So the fact that I was able to do these from scratch, and then they were really nice. I mean, they were really nice. But then I was able to do the.
Oh, you made a poster.
I did.
Oh my gosh. You are so extra.
I did.
I love it.
So I did this is one poster, then I did another poster and put it like in a big thing, so like for the signage and stuff. But again, I mean, it's so easy to sit there and one thing I really appreciate about Canva is like it would tell me if my designs like were going off the edge. They told me if they were too small, like images were too small. I mean, they really, and then they sent me proofs so that I could actually like check beforehand.
I love it.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm testing stuff out so that, you guys, I can tell you what I think. And so far, so that one I actually went and picked up at Staples. And they're glossy and nice, and yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, Lori was asking, can you put the sign-up link to the SVG Design Summit? Because she doesn't want to miss it. Can you put the link in the chat?
I will.
Please.
I will.
And while you're doing that, I'll tell you the thing I'm going to use Canva for. I think I've mentioned it already, because I know I've been saying for 2 years I'm going to make this video, but I'm going to use Canva, and I already have the template set up so people can make their own stud earring designs with the little circles in Canva.
Oh, really?
Them. Yes. So I've literally had it for 2 years, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm going to do that this summer, because I designed my own circles in Photoshop, but Photoshop, is not nearly as user-friendly, and it's also not free like Canva. So I created a template, and I want to make a video to show people, because it's fun to make stud earrings with faux leather, but people want to make them with photos or sports teams or whatever they want. So I want to show them how to do that in Canva.
Well, when are you going to do that? Because I think that would be awesome.
It would be awesome.
Should we say after? We'll just say after.
Yes. Well, so this is my other problem is Chase, my oldest son, who's my video editor. He leaves on Sunday for vacation. He's going to Australia.
That's right.
And he's not coming back until July 3rd. So my video editor is not available. So I can do a simple video myself, but I'll probably save that video for when he's back and he can edit it for me. Or if I'm feeling, less stressed and a little more relaxed than I am right now, I might play around in the editing program, because I really should learn how to do that myself since he's going to college in August.
True. We all feel like we should know how to do these things, all the pieces.
Yes, I should not. Like I was telling you before we started, I'm doing my 12 keychain event, my 12 keychain designs event, and I just went today to look at one of the YouTube videos that he made for me, and I realized in the intro, the little clip where I'm talking, I mentioned that it was an earring and not a keychain, because it's just force of habit for me to say it's an earring project. So if he was gone, I would need to know how to do that, how to fix that myself.
Yeah. So, just to mention, you do have more than one kid. You might need to train another one up. Doesn't have the personality.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Nicholas, that's not at all his thing, but Anthony might. Anthony's kind of interested. Like he made a little video the other day, and I said, "What'd you do that in?" And he said, "CapCut." And I said, and I'm learning
Hmm.
CapCut. I told you that. And
Yeah.
I said, "Wait a minute, you know how to use CapCut? Make me
Huh.
some videos." Yeah, so he might be my next employee.
So
I'm not
Roseanne's
sure.
actually asking what kind of editing programs you use. Well,
For
we just,
editing,
I
so
think we just established that she
mhm,
doesn't use them.
yes, I don't use them, but I pay for my son to use. We use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a subscription based program. I get it free, well, not free. I get it included because I already have a bundle of other Adobe products. So I
Hmm.
design in Adobe Illustrator and I do a lot of my photo editing in Photoshop, which is another Adobe product. And then
Yep.
I edit photos like for brightness and stuff in Adobe Lightroom. So if you have enough of their products together, they create like a little bundle, and
Yep.
then Premiere Pro is in that bundle. But honestly, I might want to teach myself Final Cut Pro, which I hear is a little more user friendly. So I
I've heard
might.
some really, actually, Final Cut Pro is on our list of things to get. So we were,
Really?
hmm
Okay.
yeah, we've been using one um, like a program. It's called ScreenFlow for
Okay.
years now, and it was like one of the more inexpensive ones at the time. It doesn't do like everything, but we didn't
Mhm.
really. We needed something to take to screen capture and record the screen and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But um, it's a little clunky at times. So Final Cut Pro has
Mhm.
kind of been like, there's always like the good, better, best, and Final
Right.
Cut Pro has always been kind of like the best in my mind. So I've been kind of
Mhm.
moving towards that. But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that might be. I think we were talking yesterday, Jen, about like tech things, or not necessarily tech, but craft projects, new things we wanted to try. You and I both have kids, so our year has always involved around the school year, and summer
yes,
has a little more downtime. I know not everyone, has kids and their year revolves around the school year, but in the summer I do like to try and take on projects that are a little more intensive just because I have a little more time.
yeah. That was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about, which we haven't actually got to yet. But was taking so kind of taking a deep like taking time specifically to do a deep dive to really kind of
Hmm.
let yourself like focus on something and be a beginner and just learn something new and not feel like you have to even produce anything or
Right.
like anything like but just go ahead and take the time to just make mistakes and play and try things out.
Hmm.
And I usually, even though Jasper hasn't I mean, I haven't been on the typical kids school year thing for a while now because
True.
there's COVID, and then he's actually drives himself now and stuff like that, and he's my only. We haven't
Hmm.
like the school year thing hasn't been as like pervasive as it was,
Yeah,
but
I get that.
but I think summer still has a feeling of like a lot of those activities aren't necessarily as the school activities at least aren't there. There's other activities, or
Right.
there's the you know things just seem a little bit more relaxed. So to me, like summertime is a really good time to
Hmm.
just kind of set myself a project or something I want to learn and kind of go for it. So
Yeah.
the Procreate playbook that I actually like premiered at our summit at Cricut Crafting
Hmm.
Adventure, I had actually
Hmm.
written 98% of that last summer and then
Oh,
just
that's
was kind of,
awesome.
yeah. And so this summer, I actually want to do a course that I'm working on.
Ooh.
I know, right? So that's kind of like my goal for the summer. So,
Hmm.
if that means learning more about Final Cut Pro, if that means, but really just kind of focusing on making that my all over summer goal. Like that's,
Hmm. I
and
love
there's
that.
going to be things like the grad party is taking up,
Yeah.
energy, and there's still like, life and work and things, but it's kind of to be able to give yourself just that, okay, I'm just going to learn Canva. And maybe you
Hmm.
don't give yourself the whole summer. Maybe you say July, because you did this years ago. You said, it's July. July is YouTube month. I'm going to learn how to do
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I still do that sometimes. I sort of focus on, you know, things. Like I think when I'm finished with this event, I'm going to not necessarily take a break, but just take some time to work out my camera problem upstairs. I think I do want to learn Final Cut Pro, and I can work on that while Chase is gone. And, because he says he's still going to edit my videos when he's in college, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. But, if I get in a jam and he has to study for an exam, I'm not going to tell him, I need you to edit this video for me and flunk your exam,
Right.
So
Right.
I want to feel more. Also, I know there's like cool effects and, little sound effects and things like that. And I'd like to tinker around with it myself to sort of know what I could do instead of asking him, hey, how does that work? And expect him to do a lot of research on it,
Yeah. No, totally.
So, yeah. So I think that will be part of my summer project. And then I have some laser Glowforge things that I'm going to work on
right.
this summer too. Yeah.
Because that's like super fun.
Yeah.
I have some Glowforge stuff I want to do too. So,
Yay.
Corey, all right, she mentioned that summer is bad for her because that's when her schedule wraps up because she has or ramps up because she has family time and house projects and stuff. So it really, it depends on like kind of you looking at your time. This is just kind of an opportunity, and maybe you don't do it during the summer because it just doesn't work for you. Maybe the winter is your time to sit there and really focus on something like that. Or maybe really it's just August. So.
Right. I remember when my kids were little, there were 4 of them and they were 2 years apart and they were home all summer. And there was kids in the neighborhood, sometimes there are 10 kids in my yard or whatever. And I would look forward to, not because I didn't enjoy spending time with them, but I would look forward to school starting when I knew I had some uninterrupted time during the day when all 4 of them were in school that I could focus on stuff. But
that's true.
When they were
I
little,
remember that.
I never could have. Yeah, when they were little, I never could have, said, "Oh, I'm going to learn something complicated today."
Yeah, no, that's true. I kind of forgot about that. I had friends that would like the first day of school, we'd all go out and like have breakfast together, and just because it was just like school started, which meant that we could then make time because all of summer was our kids. So yeah, I remember.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, much as you love it and much as you like are happy to have that time. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So somebody mentioned DaVinci Resolve, which is actually kind of like the new cool kid on the block as far as video editing. I don't know it super well. I've heard a few people talking about it, and I know that Apple's come out and said it's really like I think they were pushing it in an iPad, but I think Final Cut Pro for iPad just came out this last year, and that's actually what they're like really loving now too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's another plus for. Didn't our friend Lucy just switch to Final Cut Pro? I think she did.
I think Lucy did, but I think Jen is using DaVinci.
Okay.
So.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did get suckered into the whole. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say I did get suckered into watching the whole Apple Live thing the other day. My husband always watches it, and I just wandered in while he was watching it. And, like, it's like after 10, 15 minutes of just standing next to him, he's like, do you want a chair? I'm like, okay, yeah. But they make it all seem like so much magic, like all the different things that your Apple devices are going to be able to do now. And the coolest thing I thought was, you guys, if you watch this at all, you'll know what I'm talking about, is not the VR headset, which, okay, that is insanely awesome. Probably that is the coolest. But they have peel and stick stickers now so for your phone. So you can make your own stickers out of live photos. It's coming in the fall on the iOS 17 update. So you can hold it down, make a sticker out of an image, like a live photo, and then go ahead and stick it onto something in your messages, like a thread or something like that, or onto an image. Or so you can actually like have sticker collections that you make with your own stickers on your phone.
So like my cat, I could take a photo of my cat, hold it down, and it cuts out the background of my cat, and then it's just him, and now he's a cat sticker. And then I can stick that somewhere else.
And it already does that now, where it'll remove the background. You can just long press, and then it removes the background, and you can put it into your notes or something. Or you can pull it into Procreate, which is actually fun. You can just pull it right into Procreate like that. But now that was like kind of like their first step, because when this comes out, they'll actually have like a sticker collection like tab, and you can do it with live photos. So like if you have a light, like your cat's like, moving its tail, you can
Uh-huh.
long press it, cut it out, and then you can put that, and then you can save it as a sticker,
Oh.
and then it'll be the cat, with the pounce or whatever. Like,
So almost like a GIF where there's a little bit of motion, kind of.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. But I'm thinking, ooh, let's make stickers. Ooh, because I'm like,
Oh,
total
you're gonna
70s,
blow up my phone.
80s
You're gonna
stickers.
blow up my phone with the stickers. Yes,
I already
the
do,
stickers
don't
fun.
I? Yeah.
You do, but it's fun. I like stickers. I'm all about the stickers.
So yeah, that's something new and exciting that I was all like, tripping on this week that you guys might think are cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love that. Yay.
So yeah, I geeked a little bit.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess.
So let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Talk about summer. Leanne says she loves the sharing of information. Well, thanks, Leanne. This is just like stuff that we talk about all the time. Jen says she was hearing about the Apple update and she heard there are some cool things coming. So I told you yesterday I need to go watch that replay. Whoops.
It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I get suckered in. Jeremy's like my husband. He's like, you're like the worst for advertising because I get suckered into things like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like get all excited. Like I like went through and looked at 3 different types of hair like stuff this morning just over breakfast. I was like suckered into. Oh, this one does what for curly hair? So
you're so funny.
I like squirrel easy. But
yeah, it happens. That's okay though.
But anyways, Amy, we didn't talk for like quick. We have a few more minutes here. I wanted to know what your favorite tools were.
I feel like I'm being quizzed.
There's a right answer. No, there's not.
I gotta say, I don't know. I mean, obviously I love my Cricut. I love my Glowforge. I don't know.
Do you have like?
I kind of feel like. Hello, Olivia. I kind of feel like, don't go back here, please. I kind of feel like I would need some time to think about that because I'm so focused on my event. And as I told you, I'm going out of town for 6 days and the event is happening when I'm out of town. So I'm a little stressed about that. So, I don't know if I use any cool tools really. I use the Cricut. I love my EasyPress Mini, which I use a lot. I love the Glowforge. I don't really know if I use anything else that's fancy.
Okay, so I did notice that you have an Amazon influencer page now. Are you putting cool stuff on there?
I have been putting cool stuff on there before I started my event, but yes, I was doing some stuff, but more like, people ask me about these things that I hang on the wall with my vinyl, so I put that on there. And like weeding tools and things like that. I put my desk, which is an up and down desk, those kind of things.
That is really cool. I like your.
And you have one too. Are you putting cool stuff on your page, your Amazon storefront?
Not yet, but I have plans.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I was thinking about. So there are some like things that I just like go-to tools that I like all the time that I love. That I thought that might be something that like tell you like that people would be interested in sharing. But you're right. There's like so many cool tools. Well, it's kind of like me with glue. It's like I could just like sit there and keep pulling things out of my hat and going. So maybe we should save it for next time.
We should do that. And then because I have like 0 tools to bring to the table, so you could bring the tools and I'll just kind of goof on you when you geek out about the tools.
Okay, well, I'll tell you like two of my favorite tools, okay?
There she goes. There she goes.
Okay, so I love these tools because they work with metal. And so, I'm engraving, right? So I always do like all kinds of metal stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, paper seems like, I did paper stuff when I was a kid and I love paper and paper comes in pretty colors and I love stickers. But like when I started doing metal stuff, it felt like that was like breaking rules because like you shouldn't be able to craft with metal. So anytime I was able to start doing like metal jewelry or doing like engraving on metal or cutting metal or I don't know, any of those things, I started thinking like I was cooler. Like I like start like doing the little like giggle to myself thing as it was like, woohoo, I'm cutting metal. So I can show you my favorite metal cutting tools, which are like people wouldn't know.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So this is the crocodile. So the crocodile
That's
cuts
cool.
holes in metal, like butter,
Uh-huh.
because it's actually like, I don't think you can see it, but they're actually it's not flat, it's like curved, and so it bites in, which is why it's the crocodile. Like it bites into the metal, and then it snaps through it or cuts through it. So I love that. But then they came out with the what do they call it? The corner croppers. So this is actually like it actually rounds corners.
Cool.
And it does that in metal. Then
That's cool. See, you have cool tools. I don't have anything cool.
yeah, so they're like my metal tools. Then I actually like found these. And these are only like 7 something on Amazon. They're vintage, but it's shears.
Oh.
And they're actually like so amazing for cutting metal. And the way that they're made, you cut them kind of like you go like counterclockwise, and then the metal kind of curls up and away, and it keeps it like flat and
Flat.
So yeah,
So you
I don't know.
cut yourself. That's pretty cool. I like that.
And it just keeps the metal flat too. So it's like totally geeky, stupid, like little, but the fact that I can like use my tools, and these are like scrapbooking tools, but use them with metal is just kind of exciting. So.
That's super cool. Yeah, I don't have anything, like literally anything cool like that.
No.
But thanks for asking.
You might need a box coming to you.
So Candy's asking, what do we use the Glowforge for? And the Glowforge is a laser cutter, and I use it to cut a lot of acrylic, like plastic, thin acrylic sheets. I use the colored ones, and Jen cuts a lot of wood with it also, but we both cut acrylic and wood. It's got a laser, and the laser is what cuts out the materials. It can also cut vinyl too, which I recently learned. You need to use a vinyl that is laser safe. So I want to play around with that. Also,
That's how I made this.
oh yeah, that's a little one of those motel keychains.
Yes, I have the one that you made on my keychain. Amy made it.
Oh, you're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me see. So I've been translating a lot of my earring designs from Cricut into Glowforge. So for example, let me show you. I got my little avocado.
See,
So it's an avocado, but I cut it. It's not faux leather on the back. It's acrylic. So see how it's like a sheet of glitter green acrylic?
Yep.
And then I have the design on the front with resin.
I was gonna say, but
So
you
I've
put
been
resin.
doing a lot of that. Yeah, I put resin. So I've been doing a lot of that with acrylic.
I think those look so
So, yeah.
amazing.
They're really fun. I really want to spend more time doing that, but I need more hours in the day. So Leanne is asking for links to some of your fancy tools. So I'm going to challenge you, Jen, on your little Amazon page. And Susan asked, are the Amazon influencer pages like an affiliate link? And yes, they are. And Amazon has very specific rules about how you can share affiliate links. So the influencer page, influencer or whatever, but the page is just an easier way for us to be able to share links with people that are interested, because it's more in compliance with their rules. But Jen, so I'm going to challenge you to go on your influencers on your storefront and make a little list of your tools.
Jen's favorite metal.
Yeah.
Jen's favorite metal tools.
Yes. Put them on there and then come back to this video and put that link in the comments so that people can test it out.
I can do that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Yes, because everybody wants
Penny
to like
says,
one of these.
Apparently, yes. I mean, I don't know. I got nothing. Literally nothing. Let's see. Susan's asking if we've ever done paper quilling, and I have not, but it really does look cool.
Okay, I did when I was probably like 2nd, 3rd grade, and so and I remember thinking it was just so amazing. Honestly, anything sculptural. I mean, again, like it's paper, so you think paper is like the basic of all craft forms, right? But you can start doing things like, I mean, there's so many cool like things to do with paper too that are like amazing. And quilling, I thought was hard, but now they've got all these quilling tools out that make it like way easier. So
Oh,
actually, I've
that's
seen a
cool.
lot of really cool quilling stuff that I've been tempted to try.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
and so Kathy mentioned the digital calipers. Yes, this is my actual
Oh,
other
yes.
favorite tool. I
All
think we've
right, so
talked
I
about
have
this
those.
before. So tell
I
Amy, tell
have
everybody
those.
why the digital calipers is so cool. Do you remember
So
why?
the digital, yeah, the digital, well, I don't know why you think it's so cool, but
Okay.
it's it measures the thickness of things, but to these very teeny tiny decimals. So it's important when cutting with a Glowforge because there are some projects where you need to know the exact measurement of the thickness.
I
But
think what I
why do
like
you
it,
think it's cool?
well, it's because it does it in decimals. So I can sit there with my ruler and I can measure something and it'll say,
Mm-hmm.
4 centimeters or whatever like that. But when I use this, it tells me exactly to the decimal. So if I'm doing something in Cricut, Cricut
Mm-hmm.
uses, decimals to size things. And so then I don't
Mm-hmm.
actually have to go through the conversion cart. I can just say I need it to be, the sticker should be
Right.
1.49. And that's,
Right. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's
so
cool. I like that.
yeah. So
I
I
like
use
that.
actually them all the
In
time.
with the Glowforge, there's a lot of designs. A lot of because Glowforge uses SVG files, so you can cut acrylic and wood using SVG files, just like the Cricut. There are a lot of SVG files on Etsy and places like that where you can build little shelves and things. You can build little boxes with the Glowforge, and then you cut the sides of the box, for example, out of acrylic or wood, and then there's sort of a piece, and then there's a slot that gets cut out of the other shape. But you need to know the thickness of this piece to know how big to make this slot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the digital calipers, so they'll give you the pattern, but they'll tell you this slot really depends on your actual material, not the slot as they draw it. So
Oh,
that's
that's
what
so smart.
digital calipers, yeah, that's what the digital calipers are really helpful for.
Oh, so that's actually something I was trying to figure out yesterday, actually. So,
Oh,
okay, so
yeah.
something else is when you're doing like engraving blanks and stuff like this, I like to use the digital
Hmm.
calipers because some of these things are maybe not all the same size, right? So you can go ahead and get the actual, just actually really get it in there and it'll tell you the exact
Hmm.
measurement. It
Hmm.
just makes it takes a lot of the guesswork out. And it's those stupid things that you guess at and get wrong that are the things that will kind of screw you over later. so,
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
so it's kind of
That
nice.
is true. Look, oh yeah, Sonia, I do have a tool. Thank you,
Yep,
Sonia, for reminding me. I
there we
do have
go.
a tool. It's the 1/16 inch hole punch. I love that thing for making the little holes in the earrings. I do have a tool. I have one tool and that's it.
Okay. Oh,
Let's see.
that was like
Penny.
I knew that was your favorite tool. So I was like,
No, I see. I'm
I'm
so
like
tired. I
she's.
forgot what my favorite tool is. I forgot.
I don't need
So
the tool. I
Penny,
don't know where tools. What's the link? so,
Penny, Penny says she has trouble with kerf in Glowforge, and I haven't tried that. But essentially, it is a way to take your material and then you sort of cut out. You're not cutting, like, let's say you're cutting a circle. You want to put a pendant in, but you don't want to cut the circle all the way through. You want to create almost like a little tray that the pendant can sit in, then with a raised edge around it. So it's kind of like
oh,
engraving a shape down into the material that doesn't go all the way through. It's like a little tray that something can sit in, and that's called kerf. And depending on if you want the piece you're putting in to stand up a little, then you need to adjust the bottom measurement. And if you want the piece you're putting in to be flat, almost like an inlay, then you need to adjust that measurement. So I haven't played with kerf, but I think there's some good YouTube videos on it. You might
that
want to look
sounds
that up, Penny,
that sounds kind of
because it's
complicated.
complicated. It
Is
is
that
complicated.
you didn't do that with those earrings? Because it looked
No,
like
so there are right. So a lot of people make these Glowforge earrings and they use kerf, and they're basically cutting one layer of the acrylic for the background and then they're
mm,
putting another layer of acrylic inside. But that's not what I do. I have kind of a little special technique that I'm going to be
ooh.
sharing this
I was gonna
summer.
say,
But
is
yeah,
that a video too? Is
yes,
that
I'm
to
going to do
come?
some videos. Yes, I'm going to do some videos on that this summer because it's a really cool technique and it's not complicated like kerf. So yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because we're squirrels. Maybe it's because of our creative personality. But it really is, every time we learn something, we put the time and effort into learning something, it's like we can take that little bit of knowledge and stick it in a tool chest that we have, like a toolbox. And then those tools can get pulled out anytime. So it's well worth learning these things. But when you're trying to, like, just get to the end of the day without, like, I mean, it's a challenge, right? Some days just getting to the end of the day. So trying to, like, specifically set aside a little bit of time, maybe right away in the morning, where this half hour is the morning is when I'm going to learn this. Or I don't know, because I mean, even if you're just taking that little bit of time, you're learning something. And then once you, like the curve thing, once you've got that, then, so Amy, I know, for instance, that you have times where you're like stuck in the car or you're stuck in a bleacher someplace, and you take that time and you say, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to figure this out, and like CapCut or whatever that was, Yeah. And I mean,
I do that a lot. I do that a lot. I think that's really helpful.
So I like that you don't think that it's not worth it if it's, learning something is never like not worth it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know. Anyway, thinking of it as a tool chest is where I was going with this. Like anytime you learn something new, you've got it then. So.
So, Jen, I know we talked about this yesterday. I think we are both out of town next Wednesday. So should we tell our friends that we are both? Okay. Yes. So we will have to skip our live next week, but then hopefully we're back the week after.
Well, and I think the following week, I actually, I think we have a guest. I don't know if you were going to be there at this one. I kind of feel like you were going to be out of town for that one too.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, because I have a lot of baseball travel
in July.
This summer. Yes.
Yep. So I've actually, Shelly Antist from, she is actually doing the Craft Business Summit, which is what I'm going to be able to tell people more about on Friday. And that's the one that it's a summit for, crafters who are thinking about making, or who have a business with their crafts, either online or in person or whatever. So anyways, it's going to be a great resource. She's got like a ton of amazing, like I was so amazed by the lineup. So more about that on Friday. But she is actually going to be in the studio, which is, there's no studio. But she's actually going to be a guest, I think the following, so is that the 21st maybe, or the 4th? I think the 21st of June. Okay. And she's going to actually tell us more about that. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think we did schedule that because I'm not going to be here. So, okay. So next week,
nothing.
We're going to take a break. Right. And then the week after, special guest.
Yes.
So that sounds awesome.
Yes. And then challenge, Amy. So last week you and I completely we're like, well, we'll decide a challenge later. Yeah. Okay.
I've been a little busy, Jennifer. I've been a little busy.
Well, it kind of
making all the key.
Yeah. That wasn't actually on you. That was on me. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after this and I'm going to go post in the group. But I think what we want you to do this week is actually just share what your favorite tool is. And then we'll get an idea what your favorite tools are. And then share post a picture of either the tool or something you made with the tool and tell us why you like it in the thread. And then when we come back, we'll actually do a whole thing on, cool tools and do demos and stuff like that. That might be really fun. So
I like that. That's awesome. All right.
And that'll be easy. And I'll love to see what you guys talk about. It'll be fun. A lot of fun because it's tools. Woohoo!
Yay, tools.
All right. So Amy, this means that we don't get to hang out online for a couple weeks then.
That's not true. We're still going to hang out. We're just not going to be hanging out on YouTube. That's all.
Okay.
But we'll still talk every day. Okay.
All right. Sounds great. Oh, I'd link. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go through the comments and I will actually find all the things that I told you that I would link to. And I will actually do that Amazon thing that she's telling me to do. So challenge accepted.
Awesome. And then I believe in our Facebook group, you can post a link to your Amazon storefront, because having the storefront, you're allowed to post the link on social media. Okay. You're not allowed to post like a regular affiliate link on social media.
Right. So we can do that though,
in a private group. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh.
So yay.
All right. So we can do that in our Cricut Crafting Adventure Facebook group.
Yes. And
All
then
right.
when you're doing that, Leanne wants a link to your microphone. So add
Okay.
that for her, please, too.
I
Okay.
will do. All right. Okay. Yay, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We actually loved spending this time with you. And Amy, it's been so fun to just sit and chat. So, all
You too. Yay. I
right.
had fun.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, friends.